Think about it. The whole point of brands for selling them cheap ass goods is even going to change the music industry. Rappers are not going to be able to rap about the same things anymore. How do you look like rapping about, your Louis belt and designer this and designer that when the jig is up? All that shit is worthless. You know what I mean? Because, think about it. The whole point of brands sending these celebrity puppets their items was so that they can flex to their everyday audience that, oh yeah, I'm making money, I'm rich, and y'all niggas is broke, and this is something to aspire to. But I've been peeped, and I've been telling y'all, celebrities don't have no goddamn money. They get all of that shit for free in exchange for promoting it to your everyday hardworking ass. Yeah. And so what does that make you want to do? It's all about psychology. It makes you want to go grind and hustle. You listen to trap music, you want to grind and hustle so you can go buy what they're talking about. It's subliminal programming. And so now that the jig is up, the spell has worn off that, oh yeah, all that shit is bullshit. Celebrities are actually broke. They don't really have any money to buy half that shit that they wearing. They're getting it for free because they're living off of a goddamn label loan. Low-key doing criminal, dirty, shady business, to make any kind of real money because they don't make no money off of streams. But now you can't even flex the designer names. Now you can't even flex your Louis belt. Now you can't even flex your Louis bag, your Louis duffel. So how you really about to make any money? If, your daddy, Louis V and Balenciaga, their shit not even worth anything now, and it's definitely not worth flexing, and nobody's gonna buy that shit anymore. So now you're gonna have to switch up your whole flow. Now you're gonna have to work with some actual lyrics, some actual talent, some actual content, because we've been woken up. We don't want to hear that shit no more. I've been peeped at the Kardashians and Cardi B. A lot of that shit is either fake or given to them. Them bitches do not have that kind of money. Okay, especially not Cardi B. Her music is not selling and she ain't been on tour once. The jig is up, y'all. Let's talk in the comments.
找你做事人太多，事情两袖清风做，一阴一阳只为道，仔细东来，明码标价的那些物，非黑即白。
Know why America really didn't want us to see what they was doing over in China and see how China just exposed America. That designer that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, all of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs, if that's what y'all want to call them, Canal Street specials, if I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes, their shoes made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China. And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make them for cheaper, and we might as well not buy. It's a lot of people that lost their lives over designer. All I can say is this trade war is exposing the real from the fake and the
Shalom Israel, call HALAL YAHAWAH, SIMEON, BAHASHAM, the honors of the elders and apostles, a great Muslim and teaching me well, peace and salutation to be to the elect. By that Tazwan, when entry from the prophets in Babylon, camping in Tampa, Florida. Alright, it says it's going to be going into you, Eve, woman, and your designer. Okay, guess here it is. Trying to just drop the confidentiality clause, basically exposing these secrets. Okay, which they're saying that they made they're making all these luxury brands that you're paying $5,000 for. All right, and these women will go get a designer shirt or shoes or whatever. And then they start to look down on everybody else because they feel like they've spent the bag, which somebody probably spent for them. It's just folly, man. It's just foolishness. Okay? And then they look down on everybody else thinking that they're high. They're up there, but that shit really was cheap labor. Okay? There's nothing special about that designer. It's made in China. Alright? folly is set in great dignity, and the rich is set in low place. So the true rich are sitting in a low place, which is who? The men of the Lord. Okay. Those are the true rich. Alright. But this foolishness is set in great dignity right now. But the curtains are coming down to where you're starting to see things for what they really are. These people are starting to understand that their life has been a lie. They've been living a lie. They've been living in a fantasy, and they've been robbed and spoiled over and over again. Okay, there's gonna be a quick in transit, by the way. I want to grab this. In the book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. She gonna see the true riches. Okay, she gonna see that the men of the Lord had the true riches the whole time. All right, that designer, all the shit you got, all that money you got spent on your material things to make you look better. It's nothing compared to this truth, man. Scriptures say, riches shall not profit thee in the day of wrath and the day of judgment. So your money and all these designer clothes, all that shit gonna be vain in that day. Okay, when people are just dying and eating each other in the streets, you gonna eat your designer belts. Okay, believe it. Alright? These women that glory themselves over us as men, just specifically these black women, so-called, okay, black dragons, they glory themselves over their own men. Okay, you're gonna see so like you just got off work. You're gonna see what the true wealth and riches are in that day, when all your material things fail and the spiritual things remain. All right, you're gonna be down and out. You're gonna see the brothers eating. Okay, you're gonna see the brothers taken care of. You're gonna see the Lord delivering His elect. It says, and in shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. She's going to be used up and abused up. Okay, you ain't nothing. That's what you're going to become to realize very soon now. The men of the Lord are the real prize. Okay? And it's going to be too late for you. These women going to try to run back to these men of the Lord in that day, and they're going to get the same treatment. Alright. Let's grab this. Because these women are already in a shitty predicament. Isaiah 32:10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Okay. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. These women are at ease right now. They living comfortably right now. Okay. In their high-end apartments. Okay. With their designer on. Yeah, these women are gonna find out very soon. Okay. These harlots. And their pride. They're too prideful. All this designer, he got on all this jewelry and makeup and expensive weaves and wigs. Trying to beautify yourself in a world that's collapsing, in an economy that's collapsing. Truth is coming out, and the truth is, this shit that you got on really ain't all that much money. Okay? It says, tremble, you women that are at ease, be troubled, you careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. You might as well gird sackcloth upon you. The sackcloth probably costs more than that designer you're wearing. Okay, they tweaked the prices and changed the name of it and the ownership of it, and charged you a dime a dozen. Okay, it charged you a whole lifetime savings. It says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. The pleasant fields are gone away. They leaving you completely. China ain't playing. Okay, they letting everything out. All right. And you got talks arising of, even though if those are even the real people in the land over there in Israel. Okay. So a lot of things are being revealed this year. Just be prepared for it. Okay. A lot of truth is about to be opened up. And I think they're really going to put the spotlight on the prophets this year as well. Who your desiring the bitch is despised. Isaiah 3:16 says, Moreover, the Lord, YAHAWASHI, saith, Because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a twinkling with their feet, thinking that they themselves to be delicate when they really just gutter rats, man. Gutter rats with designer on, and now they telling you your designer ain't worth nothing. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. That's why these bitches be bald, man. They're so prideful. The Lord humbled them, and they still prideful. All right, they go. The Lord take away their hair, they go put in weave. The Lord take away their teeth, they go put in veneers. Okay. The Lord give them a skin condition, they put jewelry on and makeup on to make it look like it's not there. These women are witches. All right, it says, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. And that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their twinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like the moon. Okay. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. Look at that. The bonnets. She does not. The women of Israel, mainly the so-called black women, always wearing bonnets. It says, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and nose jewels. These bitches was wearing nose jewels back in the day, bro. I'm thinking this one. Nah, man, scripture say nothing new under the sun. It says the changeable suits of apparel that designer these hoes be wearing. All these nice-ass fancy clothes. They just look like money, but they ain't worth shit. And on the inside, okay? Like the scripture say about the wicked scribes and Pharisees, and say you may clean the outside of the vessel, but on the inside it's full of wickedness. All right, roughly paraphrasing. It says, and the changeable suits of apparel, meaning all these many outfits these bitches got, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. The woman back in the day had actual fine linen. Okay, rare cloth made into clothing. All right, but today they thinking they still got it like that. You in America, man. America's, you getting all your shit from China, Temu. You getting these Temu and Wish clothing. All that shit's based in China, man. Trying to be selling you the cheap materials, making it look like it's expensive. It says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. That's why a lot of these women got a natural stench to them. Okay, downstairs. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of a well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. All right? So, you women ain't shit, man. I don't know who put it in y'all head that y'all was a shit. You saw lied to you. You saw lied to everybody. Okay? But he's being made bare. Every day. Something new's coming out about this devil. All right? They're revealing all the deep secrets. Things that they've been keeping from you. All right? Now you see somebody walking around with designer, you can tell them, hey, you know that shit's made in China, right? It's not really where they say it's coming from. Okay? They just ship it off to that area. Like the lady said, it gets shipped off to Europe and then sent here. It gets shipped off to Europe for the finishing touches, or Italy, so they can brand their name on it and then send it to America. So you think it was made in Italy or whatever. No, it was made in China. Just like all these cheap toys and hactics you got, made in China. Okay? So with that, I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. Akim and Al-Wath, listen to true sincerity. Till next time, Yasharallah. Call halal yamla. Yahawah bashim yoshai bashim kakwadash. Until you bitches, y'all really need to chill out. Humble down, bro. The Lord gonna humble you. He exposing your ass. Shalom.